two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title?
It has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
Like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might run and beat Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao's unexpected return against Mario Barrios has stirred up the boxing community. Promoter Eddie Hearn complimented Pacquiao's legendary skills, saying he could still defeat fighters in the top 20. But Hearn also pointed out that Pacquiao's age and time away from the ring might affect his performance. Fans are split. Some are excited to see him fight again, while others are concerned about his well-being and legacy. Barrios, being younger and still active, is seen as a real challenge.
It's a very contentious subject. Like, you know, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, you know, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. You know, and that's why, you know, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up, you know, and people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, you know, but he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Manny Pacquiao stunned fans worldwide by coming back to the ring after retiring in 2021, following his defeat to Yordenis Ugas. Now 46 years old, Pacquiao is set to face Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight crown in July. WBC head Mauricio Sulaiman confirmed the match and praised Pacquiao's legendary status and his dream to leave boxing as a champion. Though there are questions about his age and long break, Pacquiao remains optimistic.
In a world title fight against the WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Date yet to be confirmed, venue yet to be confirmed, but it looks like it will be in July and in Las Vegas. Yeah, massive news announced yesterday by the WBC president, and you know, it was so out of left field. You know, Pacquiao hasn't fought professionally since 2021. That was 4 years ago. He was 41 at the time, and of course he lost to Yordenis Ugas, the very, very tricky Cuban fighter. Convincingly lost to Yordenis Ugas. And
Coach Greg Hackett was very honest when giving his thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's return fight with Mario Barrios. He said clearly that Pacquiao would have beaten Barrios easily years ago, but things have changed now. Hackett pointed out that this older version of Pacquiao doesn't have the same punch or energy fans remember. At 45, he might not have the speed, strength, or sharpness he once had. Hackett thinks this fight is more about cash than competition, calling it more of a show than a serious clash.
Sound like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might run and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like, yeah. It's a good fight, but It's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang. So, I mean, why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans are going to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You Stanionis, you Boots, you Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money and you want to do great things, but not so great where I get in there with a guy that'll kill me right now. You know what I'm saying? So all right, I'll Pacquiao. He damn near 50 years old. I'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So these dudes different anyway. They different. If I was Barrios, I wouldn't entertain Pacquiao. I'd be on their hunt for the rest of them straps.
Former champion Tim Bradley shared similar thoughts, saying the fight is likely about money, not glory. Bradley believes that when fighters return from retirement, they're often chasing a big payday. Although the WBC title is at stake, he feels the real motivation is financial. Barrios, being young and currently fighting, is seen as someone who can test Pacquiao's limits. Bradley even hinted that Barrios could stop Pacquiao, making people question whether he should fight again.
Getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money. One, two. I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring, man, against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well. Can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. You know, that Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again. But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. So, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat Barrios.
Mario Barrios, unlike the critics, stays cool and confident. Before the match, he said he respects Pacquiao, but isn't afraid. Barrios plans to stick to his tactics and use his youth and reach to guide the fight. For Barrios, this fight isn't just for a paycheck. It's a massive shot to prove himself. He views it as the biggest moment in his career and a chance to add a legend's name to his win list.
When you see the Manny Pacquiao fight, what can you learn from that fight?
You know, it showed that, you know, combination punchers, you know, that's how Pacquiao, you know, was landing, you know, his punches, the combinations. And, you know, it just showed you that, you know, he is a great fighter, but, I'm going into this camp, into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan. And I'm going to try to execute it as best as I can.
The news of Pacquiao's comeback shocked the boxing world, catching fans off guard. Since stepping away in 2021, he hasn't had a professional bout. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman announced that all necessary approvals were granted, allowing Pacquiao to challenge again for the welterweight.
The WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring, and he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins, 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09 Ricky Hatton all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Clotley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I ask myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who is the current champion, the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say, but anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, talk about this.
Pacquiao's boxing career is one of the most impressive ever. He's gone up against big names like Ricky Hatton, Shane Mosley, and Floyd Mayweather. On the other side, Barrios holds 29 wins, 18 by knockout, with 2 losses and 1 draw. So, how do I really feel about this matchup? I'm unsure. Boxing favors youth. Why does Pacquiao want to face a young champion like Barrios? He's already proven so much. But it's interesting he's chasing the same WBC belt that launched his rise. Some say a win over Barrios could set up a mega fight with Gervonta Davis. Others think Barrios was picked because he's beatable, possibly a setup for one final big night.
So basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's going to beat Barrios, which is going to lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around. Look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh, so, okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the Barrios fight off of 3 years off and a loss to Ugas.
And that's Crimea River, man. That's what boxing is. But longer deserve a Canelo fight.
If Pacquiao manages to defeat Barrios, a showdown with Gervonta Davis could turn into one of boxing's biggest spectacles. Both men are powerful southpaws with massive followings, and their matchup would definitely catch global attention.
Gervonta Tank Davis has a 6 to 7 fight deal with the PBC and Amazon for $200 million. That's like $30 million a fight. All right. He also has a fight date for November. El Rayo team has said they're not fighting this year, so he's not the guy. So the question is, who is the guy who is willing to fight Tank by November and could build the fight into a fight worth $30 million? Y'all must be out y'all minds if y'all think that Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta Tank Davis isn't a huge fight. That'll probably be his biggest fight ever. Y'all know that's a big fight because the boxing fan today, they know Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. That's who they know.
Even with his age and time off, some fans still believe Pacquiao can beat Barrios. His track record and many victories make some people call him the greatest ever. He's won world titles in 8 different weight classes. Winning here could silence the critics and remind the world of his greatness. But not everyone is thrilled. Many compare this bout to Mayweather's late career shows. Some say it feels more like a cash grab than a real title fight. And Pacquiao's return has sparked debate over whether it's about pride or business.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios? Okay, if this was for a massive bag, I get it. But you're fighting for a non-pay-per-view event, so you're going to be fighting for free against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Why? There are plenty of other fights to be making. But yet we're getting Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Is Manny Pacquiao even ready to fight in the ring? Why is he... I get he still loves the sport, but listen. You are an all-time great and legend of the sport, a Hall of Famer. Why return? why not just go pursue other things? If anything, do those little cheap expedition fights that you did last year, or those that are similar to that of what Floyd Mayweather keeps doing. Why is Manny Pacquiao doing a real legitimate fight? I get for its world championship, but against Mario Barrios. And why is Mario Barrios agreeing to this? Unless there is some astronomically large amount of money being given out for this fight makes no sense for either party. And I'm sick of having this welterweight division held up by dumb stuff like this. We don't want this fight. It makes absolutely no sense. And all it does is hold up the welterweight division a little bit longer.
A growing number of fans feel less excited about the fight. Their concern isn't just about who wins, it's about Pacquiao's age. At almost 46, his quickness, stamina, and toughness probably aren't the same. Many supporters say they don't. Want to watch another older legend in what feels like a half-hearted return to the ring?
This is a fight that, is almost finalized from per 210 Boxing TV from Instagram. He says, shocking news, Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title is a done deal for the summer. The date either would be July 19th or 26th on Amazon Prime, and the fight probably won't be on pay-per-view. And location, Las Vegas or San Antonio. So Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios, there's 210 Boxing is reporting that this fight is a done deal. I'm not going to believe it 100% until I see PBC announce it and everything per se. But I mean, this is a fight that has been in talks from a lot of people, from that side, saying that Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao have been negotiating the fight and everything. And I'm gonna just be real, honestly, man. I don't care for this fight because I don't care to see Manny Pacquiao back fighting again in the ring. Like it serves no justice seeing Manny Pacquiao after we just seen him fight in the exhibition and was not looking good at all in this exhibition. Like he did not look good in the exhibition fight at all. So I really don't want to see Manny Pacquiao fight Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios, I mean, he gets a big payday and he gets to put a legend on his resume. And I think Mario Barrios would definitely win this fight because I just don't think Manny Pacquiao has any gas left in the tank to fight, at an elite level.